Students are advised to listen carefully. Sir is here. He will speak something about Indian Navy and the benefits in joining Indian Navy as technical graduates. So keep assets, be silent. So I would like to welcome John D. Fallon, Commander John D. Fallon. Sir is here. Sir will speak something about this program and what is Indian Navy's recruitment process, what the benefits for joining Indian Navy, how you selected, all the things were discussed over here. Thank you. Sir, please.
Right now, we are here to give you a peek into what are the prospects available in the Navy. All of you are engineering students, technical branch students. The basic intake among the officers cadre in the Navy is that you have to be an engineer. Okay, so it is not that only the marine engineers have got a chance to join the Navy. Any branch of the, if you have done an engineering degree, you can join the Navy. Okay. So engineering degree, you can join the Navy. Okay. So this will not take much time. Okay. At the end of it, not take much time. Okay. At the end of it, I'll be taking a few questions. I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any doubts, please write it down. Please ask questions at the end of the program. Okay. Now I call upon Lieutenant Sudeep Devnath to deliver the presentation over here.
Respected Director, respected Professor, teachers, members of the staff, faculty of Cosmo institutions, and all bright young students, boys and girls. A very good morning to all. I am Lieutenant Commander Sudeep Devnath, joined this service in 2015. It is indeed a pleasure and privilege for me to present amongst all of you. I am thankful to the Director and the institution for giving me the opportunity to interact with you all. Before I start, I will play a video. It is just to give a glimpse of what we do at sea or wherever we go.
Into a modern nation. The Indian Navy, a strong pillar, shouldering the aspirations of a nation on the move. The Indian Navy, partner in progress, protecting our maritime interests at any cost. response. Decisive in action. A force of will. A force to fear. The Indian Navy has taken off, mission ready, in the sky and on the sea. Instability in some parts of the world continues. They were ready to safeguard our diaspora in other countries, evacuating Indians from the island. More ships go into harm's way to help our citizens in distress. Silent, unseen, lethal.
Enemy warship. Tight.
To deter, to defeat those who challenge. Embracing the spirit of adventure at sea and in the sky. From the mountains to our never a dull moment. Where change is a constant, transforms into a modern high technology force. The Indian Navy riding the waves, the new symbol of a rising India. The Indian Navy empowering India through maritime security and indigenization.
Now students, I would like to take this opportunity to brief you regarding the country's maritime domain. Now, as we all know, India is surrounded from three sides by sea and mountain on the other side. So, from that we can have an idea that our economy, our geography, everything is associated with the sea. So Indian Ocean is the only ocean which is named after a country. Indian maritime heritage. India has been always believed in the seas. It is of great significance that our country is blessed with 7,500 kilometer long coastline, whereas we have land 1/3 of it. So mainly all everything, like as I said, economy and all geography are in all the ports, all are taking up important place in world because of the sea around us. We have 1,200 islands around. What is the importance of this EEZ? EEZ is known as Economic Exclusion Zone, which is basically where the laws of nation equally you can apply on this area. So by giving you 7,500 kilometer of the coastline, actually giving you 2 million square kilometer of area, where you can do fishing, you can do anything, and you can apply your nation's law. And so basically sovereignty of India extends till your 2 square kilometer of at sea, till sea actually. Coming to the maritime India and skill development, let me share you some prospects on the skill development and the relevance of sea. Now, As you can see that we have all offshore oil products, that is we are taking from the EEZ, not much but 11% of our need for petroleum products meet by this offshore oil production from this EEZ. It's not only the petrol or petrochemical products, it is also fisheries sector, that is livelihood of 14.5 million Indians. Seafood exports added 5,500 million to forex earnings in 14-15. I'm sure now it has been increased to many folds with the potential to double in near future. Skill, how you can basically, in order to become an economic, basically to gain economic freedom, you should have good infrastructure to utilize that sea for our own benefit. For that we have port development, submarine cable laying and offshore drilling. Coming to the maritime security for national prosperity. Now here the importance of Indian Navy basically role of Indian Navy comes from the picture. For a maritime nation like India, having a strong and modern navy is of very high importance. It is not only to fight war, it is also to safeguard that vast coastline. Now as we make more use of seas, our need for the socio-economic growth can be met through proper utilization of our all resources. As you can see, Indian Navy it's actually growing day by day. We have 140 ships, submarines and over 235 aircrafts, and all these submarine, ships, aircrafts all works in a network manner. So it is also run multi-dimensional, because you all know that total 3 dimension we can find its air, water and below. Coming to join Indian Navy, Indian nationals can join the Navy as either officers or sailors. Is a Navy term for soldier. So this presentation basically will focus on how an officer being recruited in Indian Navy. Now you all aware that an officer in any armed forces, basically this is the only service where you will get a commissioning warrant signed and written by President of India. No other service will give you this commissioning warrant. So it's a privilege to be a part of the service always. So here how Indian Navy operates. This is our organizational structure. As you can see, the Navy is basically there is a 4-star admiral who leads the Navy as his Chief of Naval Staff. Below him there are 3-star admirals. They are CNC West, CNC East and CNC South. As you have seen the last slide, there are total 3 command which is established in Kochi, Kerala. It's known as Southern Naval Command. So except this, all 3 commands, there are small schools across India, like Electrical Engineering Jamnagar, Law in Andaman Nicobar Island. Roles of Indian Navy. It's not that we have to always fight a war, which is our primary role, that is military. Apart from military, we have 3 roles, that is diplomatic, interactions with foreign navies, constabulary role, that is helping government in law and order, and benign role, providing a helping hand. As you have seen during the tsunami or during the COVID, there was a lot of operations taken, Samudra Seva and all. So all basically comes under our secondary role. Samudra Setu, sir. Coming to the branch structure, there are total 5 branches. Executive, that is the war fighting branch, marine engineering, electrical engineering, education and medical. Executive branch consists of, there are sub branches basically where you can go in professional excellencies. So basically you will get professional expertise in each field. Gunnery deals with missile, all armament and everything. navigation and direction, that is how do we navigate and direct the aircraft and all. Anti-submarine warfare, communication and electronic warfare. Also these all branches you will find there are other branches like aviation, submarine, marine commandos, altogether different branch only, and hydrography. There are, as we all know, that to become self-sufficient you need all other structure also, like law, logistics, air traffic control, naval armament inspectorate, and IT of course, to become a network or multidimensional network force. Technical branch, we have marine engineering, electrical engineering, aeronautical engineering, and naval architecture. Now, it's not that you will keep being at sea, or you will keep. So, this is not only war fighting and all. There are opportunities given to the desired officer or sailor, everyone, if you want to go up for professional expertise. They will give professional courses across the world or inside India everywhere. Internal short span courses and MTech at IITs, NITs and abroad also. Coming to naval education, this branch is the one which deals with the professional, how to give a professional training to people who are going at sea or flying a aircraft. Naval education, all those which I have discussed previous slides that you have seen, ND, gunnery, basically from naval education branch people sent out to gain knowledge and everything, then they come and they will start teaching the rest of the people. As I said, the Navy is a multidimensional and network force. Why it is multidimensional? We have told you that there are total 3 dimensions you can find. So all these 3 are depicted here. You all know there are 2 aircraft carriers that India presently we have. One is Vikramaditya and another is IAC known as Vikrant. So you must be aware that India is the only, I think, sixth nation who has inbuilt that they have capability to build an aircraft carrier on its own. Coming to destroyer class, basically destroyer this class, various class of ships based on the in what all dimension you can fight a war. So any destroyer class of ship can fight in all 3 dimensions, like it carries air-to-air missile, it carries torpedo for attack down below the sea, and also it has a missile to attack any surface craft or any vessel at sea. Frigates class of ship depends. Basically, this class of ship can fight war at 2 dimensions. It's either air or at air or sea, below sea or combination. Now, missile corvettes or patrol ships, these are basically specific. They have got a specific role. Like there are anti-submarine missile corvettes. There are missile corvettes for surface war. Coming to naval aviation or naval air arm, we have MiG-29 kilo, that is a fighter. There are fighter squadron for fighting war at air dimension. That is, these fighters get launched from the halodeck of aircraft carrier. So, and then coming to the surveillance or maritime long-range patrol aircraft, that is PATI, Dornier. All these aircraft basically gives you the idea that what all units are there. This aircraft give input to the ship and aircraft. Then only those this fighter getting launched, and then the war goes on. Except this long-range patrol aircraft or the fighter, we have advanced helicopters that is used for generally. This is used not in military role per se, but for the other three roles. That is benign for aid to civil aviation, civil agencies. Like in case of flooding or anything, you launch that helo, recover 5-10 people. So these advanced helicopters are used for that. Coming to the submarine part, this INS Chakra was taken from Russia for 10 years lease. This is a nuclear powered submarine. Very few nations has the privilege to use or to have this nuclear powered submarine. So India is one of them. INS Chakra is a nuclear powered submarine. INS Arihan is indigenously made, like Indians made, make in India. Atmanirbhar Bharat type. INS Arihan is also a nuclear powered submarine. But the issue is, you all may be aware that we cannot strike first. For having nuclear weapon, you cannot strike. So you have to sign some treaty that you cannot attack first with the nuclear weapon. Coming to the life at sea, it's basically thrilling or adventurous. So you can see there are a lot of pictures at how we spend days and nights at sea. So first picture on the left corner, that is known as bridge, which is the hub or it's like brain of your body, that you control everything from the bridge. Next it is ops room, which is manned for all the, basically you have all the control panel for missile, for any operation per se, you control it from ops room. This is a picture taken for halo operation. That is, as I told, there are certain ships which can carry integral halo. So why this is required? As I told, it is not for the war fighting or all. It is basically aid to civil agencies. So at sea, if you have man overboard or something, so halo get launched and you can recover the personnel. This is at sea. There is a requirement of transfer of personnel or transfer of material. So this is known as jack stay, where you can transfer any personnel and material when you are moving. This is away lifeboat or boat, seaboat exercise. That is when you have to aid some person or to save someone, then you cannot take the whole ship and ride over that person or you go to that place. So you lower this boat by having a small in size, maneuverability is high, so it can go and do its job. This is a picture taken for practicing how to fight. Basically, we keep training our men and also ask that how to fight fire, flood and everything. This is the picture taken during the exercise. Small arms firing at sea. It's not that we all fight, train and everything. It's also that we play at sea also. And you will be surprised that there is a small trick why this ball will not fall in the water. Because the ball kept in your net, you can make out that there is a rope tied to the ball and net. Coming to the naval aviation. Naval aviation, there are broadly two categories. One is observer, another pilot who drives the fighter or the aircraft. Observer, as the name says, observes. So as I told, there are a PATI or long range maritime patrol aircraft. So mainly those aircrafts contains the observers. Coming to submarine, as the picture shows how complex it is, but so the more complex the system, the more trained to be. That's why to be a part of this submarine, there are a lot of training happens. So next is life as Marine Commandos. This is basically a different world only, because Marine Commandos, Indian Navy has a special force that is known as Marine Commandos. Now coming to the last slide, that we call it basically joining to any service. It's not Indian Navy per se. Joining to any service is not a 5 to 9 job or anything. We call it way of life, because there is no assurity that you will be called at 5 o'clock and will be 9 o'clock and you will be left at office at 5 o'clock. So the whole day is, maybe it's an adventure trip, whole day is work, or whole day is, as you said, spend time. So there are glimpses of how the life in Indian Navy or any service. So this, along with the ships and all, we have sailing ship also. Navy, Indian Navy has 2 sailing ships, as you can see. This one. And this is the only thing that makes different from the civil person to any person in armed force. Now coming to the eligibility criteria for joining Indian Navy, everything, I'll quickly go to the last slide. Is all this taken from this website, that www.joinindiannavy.gov.in. If you have any queries how to join, eligibility criteria, age limitation and all, age relaxation, everything is given in this website. Now the hot topic is Agnipath scheme. This scheme is for the recruitment of soldiers in Indian Navy. Thank you.
Okay, that was a very short presentation. I'll just sum up. You know, all of you are doing your engineering degree or studies over here with a certain aim in life. I mean, I believe that all of you would have some aim. If you don't have an aim, please find one. So I'm sure that everybody will be asking this question, should be asking this question to yourself, that what do you want in life? It is a question that will, help you decide 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you look back, were the decisions that you took about your life the correct one? Or are you happy with it? Or you could have, if you get a choice, you would press reset and start all over again. Okay? So, before choosing your, taking on your, chosen field and progressing in that field, I would urge all of you to, sit back and think a little bit. What do you want? Okay? Now, what we bring to the table as in the Navy, we do not bring to the table a very easy life. Okay, pay is decent, good. If you have that a little bit of sense of adventure and you have that drive in you to at least do something good for the nation, for yourself, then you come and join the Navy. If you are happy in your life, I remember my days over here. I was typically a backbencher. Okay, so I used to sit like those guys sitting over there and continue to talk, not paying attention to anything what is happening. Right? So I got an opportunity to join the Navy after my 12th. So maybe my father thought it is good that let him go to the Navy, at least there will be some discipline. And I also joined the Navy thinking that I'm in the armed forces, there are no more studies. Both of them does not hold good. Even in the armed forces, there are a lot of studies. You get a lot of opportunities to improve your knowledge base, a lot of opportunities to improve. If you are happy in life doing a 9 to 5 job, doing a job of a programmer sitting from maybe 9 in the morning to 12 in the night in front of a computer, typing away to glory, coding away to glory, you can be happy. If that is not what you are looking at, if that is not what you want in life, then yes, you can look at Navy and the forces as an option. Right? Like I said, you need to understand what you want. Okay? It is a complete ecosystem. So the kind of exposure that you get while serving the forces and Navy especially is phenomenal. Okay? We get to travel. I have seen around 14 countries in my 26 years. I've spent n number of days at sea. I have lost count. So I've been posted on ships and sailing ships for close to around 14 years. So the exposure that you get is phenomenal. And if you want to just experience it and you want to join the Navy for just a few years, that is also good. The kind of exposure that you get in, let's say, if you join the Short Service Commission officers as Short Service Commission officers, is phenomenal. And at the age after 10 years of service or after 12 years of service, when you are ready to come out, you have got your basic degrees, you would have got 1 or 2 additional degrees, an MTech mostly. And at the ripe age of 30-35, you are getting into the civil world with 10 or 12 years of experience. Okay? So that is what we bring to the table. Right? So do keep it as an option. And like my colleague said, if you are happy with that 9 to 5 or sitting in front of a computer doing it, or sitting just that basic 9 to 5, don't. Okay. And the bonds that we form in the Navy are lifelong. Okay. You always have a set of friends. There will be 3 or 4 of you who are thick pals, who will do anything for you. Right? You join the Navy and you will find that it is not 3-4. It is many 4. So with that, I finished. I am open to take any questions if you have. Do feel free. So I like this, this particular session and this particular time when the speaker asks any questions and the hat up. Right? Okay, I don't think there are any questions. Any of the staff members, any questions, sir? I'm sure, sir. Either it is you all have decided not to join the Navy, khatam karo, or whatever. Anyway, there are no other. If there are no questions, fair enough, no issues. Okay, so.
Silent.
Yeah, please. After BTech. Okay. So I said that there are the basic qualification that you need to join the Navy as an officer is a BTech. We do not discriminate that you have to be mechanical engineers or computer engineers or no. The basic qualification, the eligibility criteria is a BTech for in case of officers. Once you finish your BTech, there are 2 ways of getting in. One is through the Short Service Commission route, and there is a Combined Defence Services examination which is conducted, and then you can get into the Navy. as an officer. Okay? So both these routes are available. Okay. Anyone else?
Madam,
Okay.
whether you are having girl students or not?
Okay, so we have Navy officers also joining the Navy. I think the first photograph of the this thing which was shown was that of a lady officer. So we are taking lady officers also in various branches. In the executive branch, it is about that, the war fighting branch per se. Otherwise, in branches like logistics, education, law, we are already taking lady officers, ladies. So I will rephrase myself. We taking girls and boys and make men and women out of it. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Please, sir. So, as you saw in the presentation, the entire Navy is a network force. Network force, when you say network force, it is important for you to understand that the area in which that we are working is very vast. Okay? So, the entire basis of communication is based on IT. Second, coding. So the Navy has a branch called the IT branch, which has been set up new. Okay. So people students who join that particular branch are given priority to do that particular field. Okay. So there is, as you will be aware, the growing market or the growing profession is data analytics and cyber security. We being heavily dependent on IT as a backbone, these two fields are growing within the Navy also. So IT professionals, if you are core IT, there is work for you. There is work for everybody here. For that matter, there is work for each college in Bhubaneswar. They can come and join, you will find the work for you. Yeah.
Getting into the Navy and the security, cyber security, what is
Okay, there's a lot of, if you are joining purely for salary.
not for only salary, sir. What's the basic salary?
Basic salary. So that is the question, right? What is the basic salary? Okay. So exactly what is the salary at joining? I am not very sure. Okay, I have a figure for you. So when you start off right at the bottom, when you start off right at the starting, it is somewhere close to around 60,000 rupees per month. Okay, not per annum, 60,000 per month, and then you grow up. That is the basic. On top of that, you have military service pay, you have the DA component. So round about, with the current DA, around a lakh per month is what you're going to get at the starting. Okay. So again, let me tell you, if you are coming for the salary is, I'm not saying salary is bad. Salary is very good. Apart from salary, you get a lot of other facilities also. Okay. So you get, when you are serving on board, in the Navy, you get your rations. You are entitled for rations. So essentially, your khana pina is taken care of over and above the salary that you get. you get a accommodation. Okay, so your house is taken care of. Okay, you get if you're staying outside, you get transportation allowance. So that is taken care of. Okay. So although I said that the basic figure is what I said, 57,000, whatever. In the corporate parlance, if I take a CTC, okay, it will be 4 times that amount. At least, if you take HRA, travel allowance, everything that you take, whatever is the per month salary that you get, it is minimum 4 times that. But we don't call it as a salary. It is not salary, right? These are facilities which are provided because you are in the services. And why do you need these, facilities? I always told my son, or rather my son has this grouse against me that I was an absent father. Okay. And these facilities are required so that your families are taken care of when you are out sailing and fighting for the country. Right? So, there's one.
Yeah. You speak there for the diploma entry direct entry level. You continue that one? Diploma direct entry level was there. Polytechnic for polytechnic students.
I think that is close.
That is close.
That is no
Qualification is BTech.
I think, see, here we are talking about officer entry. Okay. So that, the basic thing is, in the executive and the technical branches, it is an engineering degree.
By the being eliminated from the all India basis from that.
I saw a hand go up somewhere here, yeah.
Sir, I have a question apart from that.
Again?
I have a question apart from that.
Okay.
What is Indian Navy bike expedition?
Okay. Very good. So you see this, the jackets that we're wearing. So it's a very good question. Huh? Once you serve in the Navy, if you have that sense of adventure, you get to do bike rallies also. Okay. So this particular expedition that we are doing is to commemorate the 75 years of independence. As the Prime Minister has said that the 75 years of independence celebration will continue for a year and conclude on 15th of August 2023. So these awareness drives and everything is conducted as part of that. Okay. So we are based in Calcutta, and as Netaji Subhash is in Calcutta, and WOT, the MTU, Machinery Trials Unit, is an allied unit which is co-located with us. So we have organized this particular rally to spread awareness about the same, and yes, take the message to everybody that yes, this is a career option. Please look forward to it. Yeah.
Is it sponsored from the Indian Navy?
So it is a mix of both. So some part is being done by the Navy, some part is done by Royal Enfield, and some part is done by IOC.
You are covering all over India, right?
No, we are not covering all over India. So we are covering just 1,500 kilometers over 4 days. We are covering from Calcutta we went all the way to Chilka, and we are on the way back right now. Yes.
So what's your thoughts on the difference between merchant navy and Indian?
Okay, very good question. Indian Navy. Okay. The job description, while the job that you are doing on board a merchant ship is very similar to what you do in the Navy, the job description is very different. Okay. In merchant Navy, you are just doing, not just doing, something that you will have to do on board a ship. But you are not in the fighting arm of the nation. Okay. You are just a machine operator who is carrying cargo from point A to point B. Okay. But the pay is good there, extremely good. get to step out and land for close to around 6 to 8 months. So life is tough there also. Okay, let me tell you this. Life in the Navy is not simple. You can imagine that you are sitting in this room, the whole room is moving used to it. Right?
So
Any
what's
other-
the selection process?
Selection process in the Navy. Okay. The selection process is pretty simple, making an understatement, simple. So, first you apply for it. The ads will come out in on the website, in the newspapers. Then you are selected if you are meeting the basic criteria, you are called. Then you undergo a services selection board interview, which is carried out over 4 days. Then you undergo a medical, which is a thorough medical, and merit list is formed, and then you are called as for that merit. So that is the process it takes. So the primary aim is to get to know when the ad comes up,